Dire team ban. Team Liquid's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team pick.
Zeus.
Spectre.
Team Liquid's turn to pick.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Dota Pit, game number 2 between Power Rangers
10
and Team
seconds
Liquid.
remaining.
As you see, I've got the full crew with me.
On the phone, trying
5
to
seconds
sort out my
remaining.
Super Bowl match.
We're so hyped right now though,
Reserve time.
G2A.com, we can't wait to go home and buy some video games.
Team
They are
Liquid's
cheap as
turn
duck.
to ban.
That's right everybody, Dota Pit brought to you by G2.
Too many memes.
Should have seen that one coming.
Anyway, let's talk about the
Dire
draft.
team ban.
Zeus and Spectre, I wonder what Power Rangers are going for here.
Global strategy. Thinking of other things that start with G. I'm just messing. We're done, alright, we're good. We're good. That was our only...
Team Liquid's turn to ban.
I'm sure we could fit in some more.
just a... They're gonna take one, they're gonna ban the others. Have to sort of...
To be fair, Liquid can still outdo the global strat by picking up like Ancient
10
Apparition and
seconds
the Nature's
remaining.
Prop.
Yeah,
5 seconds remaining.
Is that how you do it?
Like
In order to beat 2 globals, you get 3 globals?
oh yeah, like
Reserve
whenever
time.
the old MYM and Dota 1 would fight against SK,
Uh-huh.
we would just be like, it was a race to who could get the most global. So
Dire
if they went
team
for the
ban.
Zeus Spectre, bet you'd had on us going for the Nature's Prophet, the Beastmaster, and the Tinker.
this is just what Dota was back then. Everybody would just try to do the same strat but slightly better.
Yeah.
I don't know what everyone else
10
did, but obviously
seconds
people want to
remaining.
copy the best. So they followed what I did.
I
5
still
seconds
can't believe that.
remaining.
After in Dota.
You know, Blitz is actually talking about before you got
Reserve
here.
time.
He's like, I think I started the meme that Jacob is not involved with Dota at all, and he's not good.
When in reality, I'm actually one of the brightest minds in the industry.
You know, it's so easy to shut you down just because you're so arrogant about it. You know, sometimes I feel bad, and I was like, man, the Dota community really rags on Jacob when the reality is he's really, really smart and knows a lot about Dota.
He's got top
And then
four,
he's
yeah.
like, I'm the best at everything, and I'm just like, whatever.
It's cause the plebs find him super unlikable, and I don't know why.
They did go for the counter goal though. They have a Wisp.
Mm-hmm.
This is a hero that I almost never see going up to utilize in it. But that hero it takes so much
Dire
map control.
team pick.
But there's a little bit too much to ban. Obviously, you can't let him have Earth Spirit. Monger, it's just a bit too strong. Omni-Knight, or Juggernaut and OD going to be banned away by Power Rangers. So there's not too many mids left to go up against the Zeus. Still no Death Prophet being seen here, and we do have potential team fight, so there it is.
Dire
Prophet.
team pick.
This also shows how highly these teams, like how they rate
Team
the
Liquid's
supports.
turn to pick.
Vengeful Spirit coming out. You see the Oracle ban and the Witch Doctor ban. I'm surprised the Witch Doctor is that high up. And
Witch Doctor really good against the IO.
Yeah.
It's one of like the to play around too. You want free.
Being said, I don't think they should have banned away Oracle.
10
Or at least I
seconds
personally don't
remaining.
think that's a strong ban. I think the Ancient Apparition would have been, or Venge
5
actually, would have been
seconds
better ban
remaining.
against. They're gonna plan on third pick. Because Oracle actually works really well with Death Prophet.
Reserve
Well, if you
time.
still had an option to begin with, be all over it.
well, the thing is, it's also really good against the Darkseers. You risk it, right?
That's true.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
I forgot about that.
the Darkseer just gets so hard countered. I think the Darkseer because it's have this guy just purging off your. Part of it too, because Power Rangers they already.
So presumably you want a little AoE control, right, to go with this Darkseer? And you've got the sustain between the mech coming out of him, push with the Death Prophet. You also need, I mean, I wouldn't mind Sven here as their carry for Team Liquid.
Both Tiny and Sven works really well, depending on what they want to do. I think for the actual tower pushing, and right now it's just better because of the armor buff. God Strength, he obviously takes down the tower almost as fast as a Tiny with an Agatha would. So, and just because of how good he is, but we all know just how strong Wisp and Tiny.
Enchantress.
Dire team ban.
Hero's been rising up like crazy. Realize how good. Completely paired with your ultimate in the later phase of the game. Pretty well against Spectre. You can put a lot of pressure down. Power Rangers is going to be mostly
10
on the defense
seconds
because they have a
remaining.
spec. Hero, the way that people play it, it
5
comes online a little bit
seconds
faster,
remaining.
but it's still the laning phase has to kind of go okay.
What do you think about
Reserve
the
time.
lanes, though? Is this actually going to be still the Enchantress paired up with the Darkseer? Because normally when Enchantress is paired up with a hero like Batten, Spirit Breaker, one of those tankier frontline heroes, Enchantress, it's because you want to be able to farm on Enchant.
I think they're gonna go for a jungle Enchantress and then put on a lot of early pressure and try and win all the lanes against
Yeah.
Power Rangers. And I think Power Rangers has a huge issue right now. I think they need to commit to
Team Liquid's
huge-
turn to ban.
fight setup, either a Tidehunter or an Earthshaker for the off lane. Otherwise, they might find themselves being pushed by Team Liquid. Feels like the clockwork
Dire
because
team
it has that
pick.
any global perspective. I really think Team Liquid could death ball and very early on, and there was very little Power Rangers could actually do about it, just because Vengeful Spirit pretty much does nothing against the push. And if the AA isn't 6, or if you're already tanky enough to live through the level 1 ultimate, because Power Rangers can't dish out enough damage early on,
10 seconds remaining.
and Team Liquid can easily enter base with around the 20-minute mark. And I
5
think that's
seconds
I
remaining.
think the Power Rangers need to focus on that, making sure that their laner is the team fight
Reserve time.
oriented to.
PR's lineup not as well balanced. I feel like AA is okay, but I almost just feel like he's just gonna be abused before he can really. AA ults, every time I look at him, that spell's amazing, but
Team Liquid's turn to
This is
pick.
an all-in Power Rangers trying to, instead of Team Liquid winning the lanes, obviously Power Rangers wanting to win the lanes and just establish this gang potential all around the map and just hope that preemptively stop Team Liquid's push before it even gathers up.
Do like Nyx Assassin solely for the mana burn at this point. actually got 4 heroes that are susceptible to the nukes of Nyx Assassin,
10
particularly
seconds
that
remaining.
mana burn against Death Prophet and Enchantress. The Dark Seer is obviously
5 seconds remaining.
You just needed a setup hero. You needed something that could get around the map and
Reserve
open
time.
things up, because you don't want to, again, when you have a hero like Spectre, counterintuitive because this hero can go so late game,
10 seconds
you want something that
remaining.
can set it up, use the early haunts to full effect, and this is a hero that we haven't.
I actually sort of like this pickup. I think Power Rangers are lacking AoE and control against the Chaos Knight, so that even if this goes late, it still favors Team Liquid. Still think Sven and Tiny would have been equally strong, but if there ever was a game for a Chaos Knight pick, I think this could very well be it.
Whole idea. I just want to see how it goes. I think PR can sort of deal with it. A Blast. Zeus, though, has to be a lot more successful than it was in game 1. The laning phase is harder against the DP.
Yeah, I can't imagine any hero that punishes, or maybe a Viper.
Where you can just. He beats everybody. There are very few heroes that DP.
and they have
10
no real good
seconds
roaming
remaining.
potential to help out the Zeus matchup.
5 seconds
Need help.
remaining.
Kind of want to see actually the AA. The issue, if they had taken a Bane or something, they could just establish mid control for the Zeus a little and help him out. But with the heroes that you have, if you sack the AA and put him in lane, I don't know if Venge is enough to zone out the Darkseer by himself, right?
About a little bit more about what is it about Chaos Knight that makes him, because we rarely see him, he feels a bit more specialized. What does he give us that even Wraith King? What those heroes don't give.
I think you don't need a baby as the other ones. There's some ability. It's hard to just him. It is for the other. Tiny, he really relies on the burst. After that, a hero like Spectre can survive it. He can go toe to toe with you. And I think Sven just gets kited a
30
little bit.
seconds to battle.
Nice, quick first blood, it looks like, for Liquid. Yeah, goes over to Shaq. As they implemented a very sneaky little smoke, walked all the way around. Caught the Enchantress sitting on the cliff.
Actually, so much gold for Shaq.
Oh, Cheshire Cat, though, he somehow got caught in that bottom lane despite seeing them earlier. He is actually going to go down here, it looks like, is the... Oh, despite Carapace plus Fairy Fire. He does have another Mango, though. Cheshire Cat's going to have to juke it as much as possible. 2-second stun again, and Cheshire Cat is going to be blocked out. He still has a Tango. Maybe he can use his way through, but no. Tumba Man with a big swipe finally claims that kill. Still, though, the first blood was picked up by Power Rangers, so... really not that big of a loss for the Nyx Assassin. He can still get himself out the lane. In fact, it's going to be the Chaos Knight and Whisper going to be hitting for a little bit.
It's a pretty big loss in terms of consumables, though.
Yeah, it's true. J4 hoping to be able to block out mind control, but he just eats through the tree and gets away.
That first blood impacts a lot. Zeus. So much. Have his bottle straight away with that, I believe.
It helps out Illidan quite a bit, too, because Darkseer chose to go for the Search in order to try and save the Enchant.
He's a lot greedier now. Why he was in the side, but then he got scouted out by the two sports. He's like, I have to get my level.
Fader not skilled the Soul Drain on level 1?
No, he didn't.
Pick?
He got Spirit Sight.
He didn't want to. He didn't think it was necessary. Hold down on it is so long. Time. You don't want to. He was pretty confident that they ended up getting. He did a little dice here then.
J4 getting clapped on. Mind control gets a couple right clicks. So he's actually going to send the Hellbear Smasher in for a little bit more. Hellbear Smasher, 5-second cooldown here. Big Dumb doesn't have a stun. They really need to get this clap, and they will be able to get the kill on J4 if it lands. But oh, it's just a bit too far away. Healing Salve comes into play.
I don't think it's right either. I think a lot of these. I think he needed too many hits after the clap.
You're already running on him for the. Imagine if he had the Ion Shell though.
Played that up yet now.
He's level 2,
Darkseer
though.
is level 2, soon to be level 3.
Look how annoying this is for the playing. It's so little that they can do against this. Matamba Man's just gonna go in and bottom again. Is he only level 1? Yeah.
Yeah, he has no stun to be able to stop this kind of aggression. Finally picks it up, will be able to turn around and get a stun on Kuro, but seemed to mean too much. Eric's meanwhile pushing back Shaq. not allowing him to be able to get much control. Ideally, they'll be able to stop that 4-minute round.
Trying to do there is not even about killing him,
Dire's
that he doesn't
bottom
get.
tower is under attack.
When you push in the like that, it's a Wisp isn't gonna really be able to leave the lane. Want to at least make it wave does push up like.
Speaking of lanes pushing in. They're gonna try and zone out mind control. He desperately wants to be able to get up this ramp and around, but it's a little too dangerous for him, and this camp of melee creeps is actually gonna go to waste. Mind control won't be able to pick it up in time.
The offlaner, 3 XP when the lane. Teams are doing a really good job of denying it. Look, the deep on the high ground. Jack can't do anything, even with the first ball that he had.
Now the ion shell spamming has begun. Illidan still going for that power Batman build. Phase boot.
Way he builds Batman.
Shaq. Gonna be run down by the Wisp and Vada. Spirit Siphon wasn't enough. Boost up the Death Prophet's movement speed just a bit more with Tether. And it just that mid later to be able to get away.
The downside though is that this Nick's getting a lot. Plan is the possible mind controls getting up farm.
Oh, they got the stun out on him. Illidan, yep, they're gonna be able to run him down. Slay damage big, and that'll be a bit of a boost to the Spectre's farm. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Cheshire Cat tries to pick up the rune, but is denied here, and Kuro hoping to be able to slow him down enough. Across, Vada's actually going to be able to catch Shaq here with the Spirit Siphon. Shaq not going to be able to run away. The Wisp, again, that Tether movement speed, and Shaq knows it too.
Dire's middle tower is under
Nothing he
attack.
can do against that combination, so he just throws down whatever nukes he can.
The only saving grace in the early game for PR right now is the fact that Bignum on the event did such a good job at zoning out the mind control on the darks here. Going into the mid game, they're really gonna rely a lot on this AA turning levels because the heal that comes out the Wisp Enchantress and of course the Siphon Soul.
Go, my little ladies.
Looks like they're going to try and set up for another kill on mind control. I'm in on all three sides. Surge popped, but they get the stun. If they can body block him just a little bit. Oh, unfortunately, the Cold Feet's not going to go down. Illidan's still going to run him down, though. The phase boots pick up. Like they've got it. Yep, the dagger comes out, finishes him off. A TP in. Tumbaman's going to try and pull back. Illidan still has that extra movement speed from the dagger, though. The stun comes out, and the Tumbaman not. Oh, maybe with the Orb of Venom, Illidan actually might not be able to escape this one. Phase boots dodging around. He's going to have to eat through the trees, but has no escape. Bignum walk back through that tier 1 tower. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Shaq run down again. Shaq, this is just not as serious, man. Every single time he's in a matchup against Vada that is favorable to Vada, especially now with the roaming Wisp.
Gotta be so demoralizing. Every time you show up to the lane, dead.
Really one of those moments where you just start pinging the map a ton and just spam out well played.
Like, what are you gonna do though? So they go on top, right?
Yeah.
And it's gonna be lit signal to go because they know that the Venge can't be there, and they know that the AA isn't gonna do anything. So they decided to dive in deep for that.
Dire's
It was just
middle
an
tower
unfortunate
is under
circumstance.
attack.
Have TP. That's all he can do, actually. And that is something that he has been lacking. If he had TP in any of these scenarios, because they don't have stun for their supports, and obviously he doesn't have a stun either.
Nuked once, then they decided to go on him though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a really hard lane.
But you still need that option. J4, he's definitely dead. In fact, Mataba actually just leaving and trying to catch Shaq as well. 7-3, Liquid taking very early control of this mid-game.
I mean, to underline just how poorly it's going for Shaq, he is the same level as the sports on his own team.
5 nonce. 5 though. I don't know what I would do different. Mission. You're Zeus. You still lost this tower so soon, and his safe lane is being aggroed so hard. Mind control dying like that is okay because he's putting a lot of pressure and forcing both the. The one thing that's going pretty well for PR is that their Nyx is about to hit level 6. He can make a lot. change, but you also need the level 6 on the AA before you do anything. Once you get those two things, that's when you're talking about the game.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Liquid would
attack.
still run them over at that point, and you start to panic a little bit. Or you get 6 on both.
Dire's structures are fortified.
4, alright.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
As soon as you hit 6, then
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Unfortunately, still not here, and yet another tier 1 tower is down for Power Rangers. Do have their level 6 on Illidan,
Radiant's
still
middle
waiting on the
tower
other
is under attack.
Nature attend us.
the level.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Tier 2 seems to be forfeit. Sheshir poking his head out. Really, he's just soaking experience at this point.
Team can't TP and help you.
Dire's
Level
bottom
that.
tower
It's
is
not
under
really a
attack.
threat, right, for him to come in. You just give this power up,
Dire's
show the
bottom
Venge.
tower
Maybe they
has
don't think the
fallen.
Nyx is there then. Nyx is about to hit level 6. Zeus is about to hit level. Isn't great, but best that you're gonna get out of this scenario.
At this point in time, what does Liquid do to just control their lead? They know Nyx Assassin is going to be roaming around. Do you just do a 5-man?
Put up the deep wards, make sure that Enchantress is staying on the dire side of the map, and then have the Wisp relocate.
Shit. Aggressively. No hero right now that PR got treads, she's about to get a Yule. Or they just have to back if you're out all the out.
It's really important that Liquid's... Because the only way that PR is even gonna get back into this game is by Nukes picking up kills on his own with the... Or when I say on his own, they have this global backup for him, so whenever he finds a target that is sort of on his own, either an AA blast, Zeus ultimate, Spectre ultimate, there's a lot of things that can set it up for him to ensure that kill through Vendetta. So, unless he picks up Enchantress on his own, there's a relocate.
You're still going to catch him. The haste, and yeah.
Radiant's
Relocate
middle
in.
tower is under attack.
Bro's actually on a killing spree, and that's going to be the last of the tier 1 towers. Forfeit. Power Rangers, all they can really do is counter push somewhere else. Really trying to go for the quick kill on the Wisp. Cheshire Cat is here, leans up with a stun, still has that spike carapace if he wants to be able to stun Curl a little bit longer. Has the extra damage coming in from the Zeus though, and they will finally be able to get themselves a kill.
Kill at this point. Doesn't really matter who you get it on. Getting your foot back. I also got a kill on a killing. We're able to set up a little bit. Zeus. Less. PR though, the problem right now is that Spectre game, I almost feel like that was a little bit obvious. It's not a hero that can move around, it's really static.
Dire's
What is he
top
gonna do?
tower
Go to the
is
off
under
lane or to the
attack.
mid where you've already lost your tower? You can't really protect at that point. And he's really susceptible to the Wisp.
Dire's structures
So you go to
are
the safe
fortified.
lane. The only way that you
Dire's
stop
top
that is
tower is under
your team is
attack.
complete. But they all just hit level 6. So now you can kind of protect the Spectre. This is a really important fight. If they lose this fight, then you lose most control of your jungle. You can win this fight, then you get some control back. You can slow down the
Dire's
timings
top
and
tower
create a
has
little bit
fallen.
more space for your team.
So the heroes are still low. They have the Spectre going to be coming in. Quick pick off there on Jerix. And rest of Liquid, well, some of them, like Matumba Man, are looking a bit low. Ice Blast, a bit light. With a relatively clean escape.
I think Liquid made the right decision letting Kuro TP back on his own with the relocate. Because they could have brought the CK and have the DP TP in to ensure that they would go down, because they must have anticipated there was a high probability of him dying
Is under attack.
to the Vendetta and the follow-up from rest of PR. But they also knew that they were gonna get a free tier 2 tower, so the trade-off is just worth it, basically.
Illidan going to be a quick target here from Matumba Man. Gets 2 seconds stun out. Big Num doesn't have a swap, but he will get a stun on Matumba. He can get this Ice Blast. Oh, it's going to be low. Zeus has brought them just inches away from death, but Illidan's not going to be able to run him down for enough damage. 3 seconds stun, and sure enough, he's going to relocate out to make sure Matumba Man does indeed survive.
Kiss the good
Get that
dude,
kill.
my young.
Spec doesn't die there if you can get the 2-man 8 blast off.
Please, just your cat got to pick off.
Ironically, if the Enchantress hadn't died to the Vendetta
Dire's
right there, they
middle
could have pushed the
tower is
base
under
tower.
attack.
There was no Zeus ultimate. So was dead for 30 seconds. They were standing right outside the base.
They might be able to get damage on the tier 2 mid.
For Liquid, all they need to do is just stick together and push us 5, or at very best stick around us 3 and then have
Dire's
Wisp and
middle
TK
tower
relocate
is under
into the...
That's a better play. Give the Spectre too much space. Still a hero that can take it late. And you know you have like the best late gamer. Always feeling somewhat okay. I'm immense.
Oh, the Ice Blast, they clipped him, and that will bring him down. Vector managed to pick up the kill too. That's incredibly important if he can actually get a little bit more here. Kuro does not have a relocate up yet, but he does have a tether to the side. Mind control is going to give him a little bit of a helping hand. And with the surge, maybe. Illidan pops his ultimate. Still has the opportunity to run him down. Dagger doesn't hit on Kuro, but he starts striking down Mind Control. Cheshire Cat making his way through. Does have the Spike Carapace, but he's going to go straight for Kuro first. Does have the opportunity to just pop him. Now Fada's in the middle of this fight with the Eul Scepter. Will be able to get his hands on Shaq. Instant kill there. The rest of Power Rangers, though, will be able to escape. Illidan with the dagger out. And Nyx Assassin with the TP away.
Great. They only lost their Zeus. In return, they got the CK and the Wisp. They were able to save their tier 2 tower. At some point, you're gonna have to kind of do this last stand where you're like, okay, we can't just Roshan and high ground us and get control. So I like that they took that fight. The problem though is that they're just gonna do it all over again.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They can afford to be relentless in their pushing and keep chipping away at these tier. Eventually, they have enough farm to try and break high ground. I think they just need some more items on the CK basically, so that Phantasm comes into play. Because that's really one of those, alongside the Ghost of course from the death of
Dire's
it,
middle
really
tower
what they
has
need
been
in order
denied.
for them to destroy the buildings fast. But Cat is doing a great job on the Nyx Assassin so far, setting up the kills and having PR still be in the game.
Two essentially losing games for Power Rangers, whereas Cheshire Cat has still managed to shine through.
Hard when your team loses this one. First death, I don't think should. On top of that, just rotate out and so important for all of this. That far ahead.
Oh, item-wise, Mind Control's going to be picking up his mech soon. Fada with the BKB, Jarek's Dragonlance for him coming in pretty soon. Kuro
Dire's
probably
middle
just needs a
tower
Glimmer
is under
Cape at this
attack.
point against it. Well, on the side of Power Rangers, we only really have Ether Lens. Vector's still going, has actually finished up the stat builds early game. Illidan's farm is not that bad. Obviously, those kills.
It's not, and right now Enchantress really struggles against this lineup.
Oh, there's another pickoff. Will be taken by the Zeus. They still have a little bit more though. They see Matumba Man. They've got the Ice Blast on him too. He's gonna be clipped by that one. Cheshire Cat. Oh, they just take him out there. Big mistake by Matumba Man, thinking he could actually save Kuro.
Oh, they could get.
They're not gonna go for it. Maybe they will. Cheshire Cat has the opportunity to catch something here, and he does too. If he can hit a stun here, he's got Bignum. Gonna go for a dive behind the tier 1 tower. He lands the impale. Follow up from Bignum. Do they have enough right-click damage though? May not. With the mech coming in, Jarek is now gonna be able to provide some turnaround damage. Swap goes out. Kuro able to provide some assistance. Bignum on his way away, but Fada's already picked up the Nyx Assassin, and in the end, Power Rangers simply way overextend themselves.
Oh, good pickoff. Being able to kill the CK once again. This is gonna allow the Spectre to get a little bit more ahead. CK just isn't as far ahead as he should be because he's coming to the fight.
Whoa, relocate in. Got a quick pick off there on the Zeus. Illidan gonna try and get over the cliff. He'll be okay.
Not been shot.
Got him constantly.
Not terrible for PR. Like I said, the spec hasn't had to really just be there the entire time. He's in for the quick fix. Allow him to slice. Like he's already had the other.
What do you think of the armlet pickup on the Chess Knight? I mean, he doesn't have it yet, but clearly building into it.
Tough, but
Don't you think it would have been better to go for any kind of things builder?
I was thinking about that too. I was wondering, it's like, okay, do you go BKB, do you go SNY, do you go Armlet?
Gank up, Vendetta on through jungle. Power Rangers really hoping to be able to get another pick off for Spectre to benefit from.
You need to play aggressive without having to necessarily waste too much of it. You send your teammates in like Cat, who doesn't need a lot of farm. Do too much. Fortunately, they're just gonna blink.
Squid pretty clearly knew what was going on.
I think what they could be doing is, as soon as Vader finishes the Black King bar, they can start pushing high ground, and instead of having CK stand in the front the entire time, have him and Darkseer sort of wave in the back while the Dragonlance from Enchantress and the DP slowly but surely takes down the towers, and then PR eventually needs to fight, right? I mean, all they have to really defend themselves with is Zeus until the fight breaks out. So eventually, when they do want to engage, can then rely on CK and Darkseer to set up the fight for them.
TR's lineup.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Because if you mess up against TR's lineup, find Ale, Speckle, a lot of damage. There's not a whole lot of heroes that can survive that. You're noticing that even the CK quite quickly with 1400 HP. I think it's gonna take a minimum of B on the DP. You should definitely go for the Aegis before.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
You can do
attack.
it too with enchant.
Gonna go for a quick pick off here on Illidan. Bignum's here for the swap, but oh, silence comes out from Fada. They control him up. And actually gonna try and go for more here with the Gold Scepter. Ice Blast is coming in, but it's not actually gonna hit him. Shaq still trying to make his way out with a haste sprint. They do have Illidan now here. Fada's low enough. They can actually get the kill, but Siphon, oh, down the Meg, and Fada's gonna be able to turn this one around. Illidan, he's done for. And there goes 3 from Power Rangers. J4 only surviving because of the Ghost Scepter for a second. But, oh my god, he actually is going to live through that. And Shaq actually picks up the kill. Cheshire Cat, though, he also lives. What the hell?
There's like 3 heroes that are just limping away with 10
Dire's middle
HP.
tower is under
I think
attack.
A thought he was dead. He sort of went back in and he was like, oh, I was just at the right side of that last crypt bomb. And then the ghosts also just stopped. They were like, ooh, bye.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, another, no. Is that a win? Power Rangers? I mean, they got some kills, but...
No, it's definitely a win for Lick. The fact that it was a dieback from the spec. Any item progression he faced in the next 5 minutes is gone.
Yeah. Could have been, and that was an ideal success as a sad PR. They picked off a few heroes, they got the CK. They easily could have lost heroes on top of that. Like, that could have been a 5-man team wipe. Deal popped right in front of the tower. Could have just been game.
Once again, J4's Ice Blast just a bit off the mark.
Funny, his build is just like, alright, I'm gonna grab a gem and a Ghost Scepter, guys. Pulling Blade and a Null.
They can push out far enough. They've actually... The words here, they can...
Oh, mighty Blitzkrieg. What is this Quelling Blade about?
So that you can dig deeper into the tree line. People don't find you. Just like hide.
Oh, Matumba Man hit by the Ice Blast. They get another pick off there.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Tempted
under attack.
relocate in from Kuro to be able to save, but it'll work out.
Imagine if PR could have killed Fodder right there. Earlier engagement when he got healed up by the Dark here at the last second.
Off the ultimate for that one, there's no way that
Radiant's
Lynn's going to be able to
bottom
chase down
tower is under
Fada.
attack.
Now, his item progression may not be going anywhere, but Shaq is recovering a bit from these kills that are happening. He's actually going to pick up his veil.
That cannon bought back. Almost be in a salvageable position.
Still sort of lack of discipline from Liquid. The fact that they keep getting picked off by being relatively close to each other. Surprised that they let each other out like that. I mean, Kuro is trying his best to save them, but Matumba Man being caught out. We haven't seen Enchantress die as of recent. He learned his lesson when he was caught out entirely alone on the other side of the map.
No spec. tough. Lineup is.
He actually did go for the 20-minute hand of.
No, he would. The reason why is because and he's not getting farm progression with. He has to do that. It sounds. I know it sounds really stupid, and when I suggested it, it was really a joke because you need to keep up with the rest of the crew.
Oh, could this? Oh man, if only. Oh, they still get the swap back. They have the double damage on Vignum, and that is enough damage.
Dire's
Pickup of
top
2
tower
there
is
from
under
Power
attack.
Rangers, a gigantic win for them.
I think the game has started to favor PR by this point. Spectre almost has either a change to the Manta style or the Diffusal Blade. I'm assuming he's gonna go for the Manta first for some survivability. There is the Asher, sorry. And then by then, as William was saying earlier, Spectre is one of the best late games, especially with the setup from PR. It really makes it easy for him.
Radiant's bottom
Eric's knows
tower
he's dead.
is under
And
attack.
then with the complete lack of farm on the Chaos Knight, it's really only Fader right now that has anything that resembles farm. And so I feel like Liquid is suddenly put on a clock. From being in the complete advantage of the game, they're now on a clock where they lost the option to push the base fairly easily, just because of the levels that they've given out for, and items they've given to PR now. So Zeus has 11, he has Veil of Discord, and Spectre has sufficient farm to be a threat if they ever split up. Nyx Assassin keeps on doing a ton of damage in these fights, really Chesacat being the standout player for me so far in this series from the Power Rangers side of things. Then of course the A ultimate, and when he's 11 as well, it's so difficult for Liquid to actually teamfight now.
Big Num's been only good. He's always in the right position. Hard for Liquid to go into the high ground. You don't want to push up into AA ults. One fight, just throw the game around. Liquid, they're gonna go objective.
I like this. I like this stat focus build on the core position Vengeful Spirit. Reds, Ring of Aquila, drums. They're all kind of supporting items, but it's not quite significant.
I would like to see him get a Force Staff. That would be the biggest item for him.
I was gonna ask you if J4, if he goes for the Horse Staff, that we see more
Someone
combative AAs go, or do you think the Ice Blast is?
I think somebody should get one. Such a big fight. These are the
They know
turnaround.
a couple smokes are popping. Cheshire Cat, they have the counter ward there. Fada is going to be one of the big targets here, but they're trying to go for Jerix first. A 4-man South Zone. Fada's going to be able to get off his ultimate now. They turn around, jump on Cheshire Cat, easily kill him. J4, he managed to get off at least his Ice Blast, and Fada's a bit low, but there's too much chaos for really Power Rangers do much. Spectre comes back in trying to fight this one out, but Fada's going to be able to survive. Shaq is going to be dying underneath the tier 1 tower, and all they got out of that there was an Enchantress.
Man, that fight, by all means, was about to be amazing for PR, and then Fada just silences 4 targets, and the fight is completely turned around in
Radiant's
Liquid's
middle
favor.
tower is under attack.
Oh, PR had to play so disciplined for this entire game just to come back, and they were doing a really good job of it. In one fell swoop, all of that progress just goes. Could have just been hitting for them. It looked like for a second, show that the smoke was broken. They ran into the Enchantress instead of the deep. Silence off.
Dire's
Everybody
bottom
clapped.
tower
Then
is
they
under
pincered.
attack.
Like, it wasn't even this big ultimate coming out as we see from Earthshakers, or even a global silence from Silencer. It was just a silence from Fader that completely destroyed PR in that fight. We just saw the AA blow up immediately, didn't get off anything. The suit being hunted out, couldn't do anything in a silence like that.
Positional game. Liquid, once the smoke broke, they saw them. They're already coming. Right? Made it too hard to. Lost their gem there.
Yeah.
And again, this also happened in the previous game, how the marginals between Chesacat and Fader in these... Chesacat is about to set it up, and Fader reacts. Not a lot on the Invoker against the Legion Commander. In this one, the Impale almost hit Fada, and had it, fight might have gone, probably would have gone in PR's favor, because he wouldn't have gotten off that silence.
Really needed that fight. Because once Liquid start to get BK, get one on your CK, it get really difficult.
Yeah, they've already got Some significant item pickups coming in. The Octarine core is going to be here fairly soon for Death Prophet. It's obviously huge, and the pipe as well for Mike. Looks like Matumbu is going to be able to pick up his BKB in a couple of minutes. Well, Power Rangers will have a lot of high ground defense if they can finish up this Aghanim Scepter on the next assassin. Particularly that mana burn is going to be really effective at defending against that Death Prophet's push.
The Enchantress's item progression. At what cost? If he can skip the Dragonlance, he's not really that buff, and hence an AA infuse, and as you were saying, the mana burn.
Bignum's going to be immediately picked off here by the 5-man of Liquid.
Actually, check here. The big hero.
Yep.
Venge's irrelevant.
Need both your Nyx Assassin and your Zeus to be able to play high ground here, but can do a little bit of split pushing here if they want to. They've got a nice little push at the top lane. Vada's going to pop his ultimate. Silence goes down. Going to jump forward a little bit farther before he burrows.
And then you just get silenced again. It's a little silly.
Alright, Matumba Man. Gonna stun out. Those illusions are gonna go down pretty fast. They're gonna quickly pull back the burrow target, and they will be able to get Cheshire Cat. Illidan's jumped in trying to go for Kuro, but there's too much damage, and now he's gonna be surrounded by Matumba Man. Managed to get that Reality Rift pulled back, 2 down from Power Rangers, and they are completely defenseless now against Liquid Type Man.
Top tower is under attack.
Sure, that's not a thing in start there. Pull him out like that.
Dire's structures
That
are
was-
fortified.
Disappointing because it really just boiled down to that fight at bottom. Completely swung around for them. Feels like they've kind of lost a little bit too much. They lose back here too. They can't afford to lose their.
Oh, the swap, get away, Matumba Man. Still trying to get that Reality Rift, actually using it on Bignum. Trying to get into the fountain, Bignum gets away. Don't have the swap
Dire's
yet.
top barracks are
Be able to
under
punish. Still though.
Talked about. That is down easily. He got stunned and he still survived throughout.
Build Discord, Jesus. Damage, Matumba Man tries to back himself away. Another great silence coming in from Vada. They get the stun on the Cheshire Cat. They're going to try and blow him up with the BKB with a pullback. Oh, the vacuum on 4 Power Rangers. In some serious trouble now. They're going to go for the big one, pull him back in. Nice, nice blast. Maybe Illidan can clean up some heroes though. Vada pops his BKB in response. Illidan's still going to try and hunt him down. Mind control's quite low as well. Shaq's trying to finish him up. Will be able to get one. Vada gets the TP away. And Matumba Man and Kuro going to be the next targets though. Turn around. Oh, that's just an illusion. But reality, jump away. Kuro gets them back to the fountain.
Still, Star is kind of holding more than they would like. At the same time, for some reason, the Zeus just continues to hold on, but he brings back the CK.
They actually have the CK fighting up against Illidan. He's still trying to go for Kuro, pops the Manta in order for a bit of confusion. Now turns on a Matumba Man. Matumba Man isolated there, gets wrecked by the Desolate damage.
He's now gotten the level to deal efficiently with these
Let it go,
high
let it go, let it go. Oh. You let it go there, and it passed through and hit
Dire's
Kuro.
bottom tower is under attack.
Got the gem back though. More importantly, went on to.
Sure got the mega kill. 801 gold out of that.
Really important for them to continue to have hopes in this.
Yeah, and Shaq actually got a lot of gold out of the Darkseer as well. 808.
They've been so close to ending this a few times. If in the original assault, it killed the Zeus before he got swapped by the Venge at the last second, he was dead. He had 300 HP, they had the lock on him, and the Venge swaps, doesn't even die for that. They buy enough time for the Spectre to survive. They went all in to kind of kill the Zeus, so that even if the Spectre alive, he's their main damage dealer. He was able to survive. A little bit too hard to go high.
I think the diffusal, like normally, and probably in this case as well, we'll see the diffusal pick up from this one now, being the natural item progression. But if you have looked at these team fights, first damage coming out from Liquid is so lackluster. If he went for additional survivability, because the damage output is already there, but if he can actually tank through these engagements against Team Liquid, don't you think that PR would much easier win these fights? Like, he's going for the diffusion now to probably like try and kill out these targets in a faster pace, honestly. if he went straight to the half, I think there was still Liquid do to actually take him down.
He needs to be. I kind of agree with you because he needs a frontliner for the Zeus. But I also think he lacks damage. It's one of those scenarios where
Dire's
you're
middle
just a little
tower
bit far
is under
behind, so
attack.
I can kind of agree that you can make an argument either.
They have plenty of damage output in the... Then with him, as soon as he isolates a target, isolate in itself is just...
Oh no, they managed to get the Yule Scepter. He's still going to be able to get the Klebs there on bottom. Maybe they can finish him off with some physical damage, but oh, a great backing wall. They managed to get a great impale on top of the Cheshire Cat sitting on the side here. Illidan's going to be able to clean up a couple, but he's still going to go down. Shaq trying to pop. Oh, nice relocate out there. Kuro was definitely going to die in that situation. It looks like he still will.
Is under attack.
Recovery of the gem once again. Cheshire Cat. What are they doing here? Okay.
Radiant's
back
top
in.
tower
In a
is
lot of
under
ways, I
attack.
felt like that was the best kind of initiate Liquid could have hoped for, and it still went 3 for 3.
PR had held the spec there. Master to them.
Fortunately, he did manage to keep
Radiant's
a reliable
top
hold on
tower is
himself.
under attack.
At least they saved the Zeus. Zeus is doing disproportionate damage to how much he's taking. He goes down pretty quickly, but
Radiant's top
haven't
tower
been able to
is
get on
under
top of
attack.
him.
In the Ether Lens and the Blink Dagger, he's going to be a hard target shut down.
He goes up against the Sea. He's really
Radiant's top
the
tower is
answer
under
to
attack.
how to take down the Death Prophet and the CK. It's not even the Spectre, and this falls back on me saying he just needs to tank up. Once he has enough tank ability, he'll survive through these team fights, he'll get the gold gain, and then he can easily follow up with the damage build. When he's going for this diffusal play, it's a high risk involved in the fact that he might go down every team fight. They might lose the game before he will even
Radiant's bottom
get to any other tank items because of it.
Radiant's bottom
Sort of
tower
more
is
of an
under
all-in play, and I just like to play it safe.
What would your item be, Jacob? BKB? Or do you like...
No, I don't think he needs the BKB because even though Liquid has gap closing in Reality Rift and Search and Tether, they severely lack lockdown, and if built into hard, of course the item progression is a lot harder than just going for the defuse. But even then, the Vitality booster, 250 HP against the lineup of Liquid that already has issues dealing with the Vengeful Spirit, I think that would suffice.
Weird, it's like a 12k lead, I think, by Liquid. Still haven't taken a rack. Often you see a lead like this that helps intent. Because, again, PR have really sick high ground defense here.
One of the main reasons I brought up BKB is if Illidan has BKB, he could actually just go straight for this every time.
They have enough burst.
Definitely, Enchantress is not even an issue here. It's definitely just the Chaos Knight that they want to either kill off or get sufficiently low to defend any kind of role at all. And then the Death Prop. You do not want to get into her realm of ghosts and Siphon, so it's...
Cheshire Cat got a burrow here. They actually have to set up on bottom. They're going to blow him up. Double kill there. Beautiful setup. The fight's still going to go on in the background, but it looks like Power Rangers should be able to overcome. Picking up with a nice swap in. Mind Control's almost done for it. They're going to be able to run him down. And Matubba Man, without much help, isn't going to be able to finish this off. 3 seconds down on Illidan, but he can't commit. He's got no mana whatsoever. He's just going to be run down eventually.
This is a CK with 3 core items that struggles to take down a Vengeful Spirit in Phantasm. This is what Liquid is now struggling with, dealing out enough damage.
Oh, Shaq, he's locked down Kuro.
Glimmer.
Who traveled in, blink forward. And even that Glimmer, as long as he can maybe keep eyes on where Kuro's heading to. Inside the Roshan pit, Kuro trying to get to the 9 from Roshan, does successfully get it, but he does lead Power Rangers straight to Roshan.
Full team wipe with only AA going down for PR. I think this is now PR going to lose actually.
Yeah, too. Weird. That's what we were talking about. Is that the Liquid lineup? They just had to kill the Zeus at some point during the high ground pushes. They were just never able to. They were so close a few times. You saw them almost overextend just to do it because they realized the urgency.
Radiant's bottom
But
tower is
PR
under
is just
attack.
holding on over and over again.
Yeah, and Spectre now has the Aegis, so that the next team fight he'll actually live through. He already amassed enough gold to almost pick up a... So, at this point in time, the gamble paid off, so to speak. Late. they won this team fight that was so crucial, because had it gone the other way around, had Liquid won, he wouldn't have any goal progression, he wouldn't even have buyout gold, and Liquid would have kept on keeping him low in these teams, killing him off in every fight. Not gonna go the entirely different route, gonna have enough gold to tank up and make it even harder for Liquid to kill him. And at this point, Liquid, like, the problem for PI is they still have a long way to go to actually break high ground on their own. So they can still hope to pick off the Spectre.
Setup from the Knicks at top was sweet.
Yeah, and it all comes back to them taking away the gem from the previous fight. If that wasn't the case.
Incredible.
Yeah.
The way that he set that up. Gets in between, behind both of them. And Control's gonna be the target.
Spectre ultimate, yeah, they got Jax.
Matter though,
Yeah, and you just can't split up if you're Liquid. You haven't been able to at any point in time in this game, and it's only getting worse now that Spectre pawn for any isolated target on his own. He doesn't even need the backup of the Nixes.
the both steps that PR have, there's no burst damage from Liquid. What do they have? The best thing that they have is Death Prophet's nuke. Almost nothing. They can't afford to lose.
Seater Cat found another one. Mind Control's gonna go down before anything goes off. Man, they relocated him in. He's gonna be able to turn on to Big Nut, but that's not a major kill. Mind Control comes back into this fight after a buyback. And Jack, they're trying to lock him down. They managed to get the Soul Siphon to slow him down, blocking him out, but the Ice Blast's gonna come in over the top. Still, though, there's just not enough damage. Power Rangers have backed themselves away. Seater Cat still no. Oh, they finally get a dust. Seater Cat realizing he actually doesn't want to be sitting out here. Goes pull back, and they've got him. Illidan showing himself for a second, probably hoping if maybe he can snatch the gem, but that's not going to be the case.
Really, a successful fight for Liquid. PR just way over. The angle in which they took that fight was so weird.
In between tier 1 and tier 2, I mean, if the Dark Tier doesn't have buyback there, you know, it could have gone perfectly fine for Power Rangers, but
Wisp is just not a good target. Nexus hasn't on either. Really needs to be the Death Prophet, even the Dark Seer. So disruptive in the team fights, and all the damage output is usually through the Death Prophet. Of course, the Phantasm from CK that has been spent on killing Bignum on the Vengeful Spirit in almost every team fight.
Incredibly happy that majority of the CK usage is onto that Vengeful Spirit. Only downside right now for the biggest fight was just that they couldn't line up anything. The previous fights that had been successful for them, they'd been able to step into the fight. They had full vision, open area to work with, but this time around, the AA wasn't really sure where the fight was going to take place. He wasn't really close enough to set that up. On top of that, the angle was just weird. They didn't have the best vision on top of A4 not really being ready for that.
One time, the Midas on Matumbo has actually paid off dividends by now. At the Black King bar, he's now built a halberd, and he has a Reaver on him as well, so 1000 HP Phantasm Illusions. They might still have a chance, because it's so difficult PR's lineup to deal with these. Outside of the suit, there's no real answer to these Phantasm Illusions.
freshly picked up Shiva's by Fada. It's going to slow down Illidan, but he doesn't really seem to care. He's just going to keep going towards Fada. They do have the Ice Blast coming in, and is going to be able to hit both. Mind Control is definitely going down here, and now Seater Cat burrows on in. Will be able to hit the stun on Fada, slowing him down. Instant kill. Matumba in the back. He'll be able to get Shaq and still has Soulsman ready to go. BKB going out. He's going to try and target Illidan down, but Illidan seems to be too much for him to be able to handle. Another great stun from Seater Cat, pop style. Matumba just getting kited around. Even if he is killing some of the supports and the squishy heroes in the back, he's gonna go down eventually without a save from somebody. Matumba 400 HP, that's all that's left. Illidan will finally be able to get the kill off of his dispersion.
And Illidan was playing so aggressive because he knows he has that Aegis if the Immortal is gonna expire soon. And he can just afford to frontline now. He has the Heart of Taras. There's nothing Liquid can actually do to take him down, even if they focus him with the Phantasm. And you saw Matumba was even hesitant to do so, knowing that Dispersion might actually end up killing the entire ultimate right off the bat. So, just don't see them have an answer to the Spectre anymore.
Seater Cat still has the blink, but he blinks away.
Take a fight correctly. He, I don't know, has so many weird conditions. Like, Fada can't get hit by the AA blast.
Oh, nice hit.
That
is unfortunately not a Ags upgrade. And he's got Glimmer Cape, so 5 seconds.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Be enough. Tries it anyway, but
Alright.
Come on, sprites.
I guess that's fine. It's just pretty weird. I guess it's worth it though, right? The risk reward there. You pull down, but
Where are you going?
pretty big target. Another gem on the Enchantress.
I'm sure PR has, time he ultied, realized they were not going to team fight with a minute or so. But Nyx being out of mana, expected having just TP home too far.
I like this dragon. So I kind of like Finland's less so on Vengeful Spirit ever since the change, where it no longer gets that magic resistance.
Blade Mail, Dragon
But-
Lance.
Vengeful Spirit is kind of turning into a bit of a right-click semi-carry.
He's like the weirdest core.
I mean, I really like and respect them for showing this ingenuity in his item build, not just going for, you know, I don't even know what he would pick up, but the Blade Mail Dragonlance, how often do you see a support hero with this kind of inventory?
Working out, but I almost feel like
The Dragonlance might be a bit of a misstep. I feel like it is kind of a jumping item though, because he can very reasonably think, push this game late enough I can get BKB if he breaks it apart. BKB and Butterfly, both I think would be valuable on a semi-carry bench.
kind of the idea of why Matama Man decides to go for the Fidus on PK, because he understands the game. I think Liquid understood really quickly. They're like, okay, we can't break high ground. It's really difficult for us. If I just decide for an all-in BKB, we don't win the fight and the Spectre continues and the game's over.
Just that, but what other item at around 2k gold would benefit him more? I mean, you could argue that a mechanism would be decent in the team fights, but at this point in time, they're not really struggling with survivability anyways. And Dragonlance, the stats that it gives for a Vengeful Spirit at this point in time for 1900 gold, definitely worthwhile. You get the overclock, and then you have the attack speed coming out, and of course the attack range, and by this point in time, she deals over 200 damage just because of her aura as well. A really good item.
I feel like everybody should just PR team. Pays off so much against no magic burst whatsoever to speak of. What are you going to be worried about? The majority of the damage comes from the coast or the...
Yeah, if you could just kite around the CK, because
Yeah.
that damage
BKB
is
is-
so dependent on Reality Rift.
What are the DKB charges at? Like 5 seconds respectively for both the course? Liquid? Has to be.
Yeah, probably. And 5
Five.
seconds
The
there.
DP then def. You got a third item.
Yeah. Way early.
So you go for Ghost Up, and they do. You just last out the BKB, then you re-engage, and mission has become
Smoke
pretty
up,
dire.
Power Rangers. Get us a little fight entrance from the side. Spectre Ultimate, Zeus Ultimate going out. Ice Blast is just barely going to be able to clip Bot up. They're actually going for more on the right-hand side. It looks like just kind of trying to stall up Matama Man. They're going to try and focus down that Burrow target. They will be able to get him, but Fada is taken out by Illidan, and I can't see that being a good trade. Now this is the vacuum in. They have a lot of illusions, Big Numbs being the target, but he's managing to just kite them around the trees. They pull back Illidan, but he's the tanky one, and that's not going to matter one bit. Oh, the swap back, Big Num very bravely trying to save Illidan, but Illidan
Radiant's middle
should
tower
be
is
needed
under
the saving there. He managed to get a bit of hard regen coming back in, but Tumba Man is going to be stunned up by the Cold Feet proc, and he's, I think, done for. Crow's going to be able to provide the Glimmer Cape, and never mind, Illidan is going to be forced back. And it's just dodge that last impetus shot, but 36 to 35, 45 minutes in, the game very even now between Power Rangers.
Aggressive fight, and I think in parts because both Illidan and Jessica wasted a lot of time doing nothing. Jessica ran all around the Liquid lineup trying to find out the Darkseer, and then Illidan mistakenly hit the Enchantress 3 times, thinking that she was by the AA blast, but she wasn't, so she wasn't gonna go down, because there's no way the Spectre's ever gonna deal enough damage for her to go down.
Gonna push without their DP, but be one of their better opportunities.
Yeah, without the Phantasm from the Tumba Man as well. And yeah, Power Rangers just going to take full advantage of this fight. Vacuum, they get a 4-second stun onto Shaq. They manage to take out Jarek's here, and finally the Ghost Scepter goes off. The Tumba Man has to transfer targets, but most of the targets are Ghost Scepter. The Ice Blast hits them, they get the stun, but Tumba Man desperately needs saving here, but Curl can't provide it. He's got no relocate out, and Illidan will take the kill last but not least. Mind Control goes down as well, and the push uphill without the Death Prophet turns to be potentially Liquid's big downfall.
That value pick up by Illidan too. Talisman of Evasion, you saw pay off multiple times. He was getting spear chucked by the Enchantress, and he even got 4-staff, and I was like, that spear's gonna do 1,000 damage. Completely misses. Situation is, this game is unreal. If you're Liquid, you think to yourself, you know that you're up 15k, and you think to yourself, okay, pretty far ahead, got the pressure on them at all times, we've destroyed the Zeus's early game, and then now it turns into this. Cheshire Cat's massive, you can't kill him easily, the Spectre is incredibly difficult to deal with. Shaq can be in the middle of the fight, but because you have 0 burst damage, you can't take him out. You saw they isolated him, he didn't even have the Ghost Scepter on, they got the sequence off, they had everybody attacking him, and he still didn't die.
And you gotta be especially annoyed if you're Liquid, like, out of pulling your own hair, right? Because you have the stones to just gather up and push at the 20-minute mark. It all stems back from the fact that they had this huge 10k lead at the 20-minute mark. They had a lineup that they could very well push with. There was no item and level progression on PR that could have kept them out of the base. They hadn't been picked off in these horrible situations that they kept on being.
Power Rangers now going to be the ones massively on the offensive. Cheshire Cat once again trying to set things up, sneaking around behind the tier 2 tower. Find easy quick kill. Just might with this ward. He's going to be able to see 2, blinks into them, turns around, gets the stun on the bolt, but the relocate is here, and Cheshire Cat in some serious trouble, gets off the spike carapace, hoping to be able to blink away eventually. They do manage to get the Zeus ultimate out. They're going to try and finish off the Darkseer. Meanwhile, Illidan's come in. They've got Jarex as well. Yeah, they managed to take down. No, they didn't even get the Nyx assassin there. Illidan, he's running down Fada now with the Ice Blast on top of him. Rest of his team trying to catch up desperately. Meanwhile, inside the base, they managed to get Matumba Man back over to Fada. He will be able to make the escape, it looks like. No, Cheshire Cat actually wants this, and he wants it bad. He's got the Blink Dagger forward. Oh, Jesus! 680 damage straight to the face. Death Prophet goes down. That's a wipe with Power Rangers losing basically nothing there. How did the Nyx Assassin end up surviving?
They have no damage. They just can't kill anybody.
There is 0 burst on Liquid's lineup.
Window is ended. He got the stun off. Then he spiked carapaces and just runs away. This is how confident PR are. They're like, what is the point of Rax? Guys.
They know no buybacks have come out yet. Vada's going to be the one to pop the first buyback, but that's the only one they have.
I think at this point in time, bar a reality rift on the Spectre into the fountain, he could actually just zone them out by standing on the other side of the throw.
Cheshire Cat desperately trying to get underground, but that's not going to happen. Fought on the front lines with the BKB, but he's all by himself. That desolate damage is coming into play. The Ice Blast, he quickly goes down, the stun on Jarex, and that is going to be another 2 down. Power Rangers flying back, coming back in. 4-man vacuum, but no wall follow-up as Nyx Assassin was able to get the stun first. Mind control, he's not going to throw down the wall, but it doesn't make a damn difference. Curl's still going to go down. Most of Power Rangers still looking decently healthy, and the throne still exposed. That's going to be the end of the game, and a tie for Team Liquid, who had such good control in this game number 2. Faltered going into the...
I know a lot of people are going to immediately push the game and say it's a throw, but I just think that PR executed their lineup really well. The fact that they were able to keep the Zeus alive at all times, really big props to Bignum, because he understands every single time. He's like, okay, target to save isn't the Spectre, Zeus. I'm going to save my swap for the... Anytime Shaq gets out of position, I'm going to make sure that he survives. Shaq had a miraculous comeback. Now he goes being level 4 at